Hi, I'm Graham. This is Man v Film. Okay, it's March already and I'm back to my Netflix top 10 now. Some of the comments I got from last time from the top 10 were that are these really the 10 best movies on Netflix? No, they're nowhere near the 10 best movies that are on Netflix. That's not what this list is about. This list is about movies that you may not realise are actually on Netflix and are definitely worth your time. They may not be the best, the most cinematic, or even the most important of tales, but you know what? They could be worth sitting down and just throwing on. They may be something that you might enjoy. Basically what I do is I sit down, work out a list of all these alternative movies on Netflix that may have been big back in the day, you've not heard of them, and it's definitely worth your time. And I'll basically whittle it down until I've got 10, and then I just kind of categorise that 10 into what I think is the most important. So number 1 is one that I think you should definitely check out. If you're running out of things to watch, go to number 10. It's absolutely the way to do it. If I've missed something, or if there's something else that you think should be seen that's on Netflix, by all means let me know. I absolutely love to find a movie that I've never heard of before that just blows me away. So let's get started. At number 10 is the Bill Murray comedy, The Man Who Knew Too Little. Now I just watched this today and it is absolutely hilarious. It's a movie that has not a serious bone in it at all. It is complete farce from start to beginning, and it is about an American that travels to England to meet his brother, and his brother just gets him out of the house because he's got an important business meeting and puts him on this interactive play. Now he doesn't end up on the play, he ends up on a spy mission and he has no idea what's going on, but he's kind of bumbling his way through it, and it's just a joy to watch. Bill Murray is fantastic and a great person to watch, and it's, you know what, you put it on, it's an hour and a half, and it's an hour and a half enjoyably well spent. The music in it's fantastic, and it plays like an old 60s, 70s spy movie, and give it a shot. Straight in at number 9 is a 1997 movie called The Ghost in the Darkness. It starred Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas, and you know what, this is a true life tale which is absolutely amazing. It's about building a through Africa, and these two lions, man-eaters, take on themselves to pick off the people that are building this train at their will. So they hire in this big game hunter, who's Michael Douglas, to come in and, you know, save everybody and get these lions. But you know what, these lions are just a little bit smarter than the average ones, so Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas need to figure out a way to catch these things. It's pretty much like Jaws on land. It is a really good, enjoyable movie. Number 8 is a little indie movie called Cube. Cube is a movie where 6 people wake up and they don't know what's going on in a room. There's portals either side, doorways, that they can crawl through, which leads into another similar shaped room. Some of them have booby traps, some of them don't. They don't know why they're there for a reason. They all have something that's going to help them get through this maze, and that's pretty much the premise of it, and it is a really enjoyable, fun movie. Number 7 is a movie that I got to watch last year in the big screen, and it stars Stellan Skarsgård, and it is In Order of Disappearance. It's a kind of black humour movie with a serious tone as well. You know, basically his son gets murdered at the start of it, and this citizen of the year that decides to take it in his own hands to get revenge for his son's death. Like, a particular standout in this is the bad guy in it, who's so over the top, and his final line is delivered absolutely pitch perfect and is hilarious. It is really, really a good movie, and you should check it out. A little bit slow in paces, but you know what, it's worth the effort to put in to watch this. At number 6, it's the movie that inspired the Hunger Games. It is Battle Royale. This isn't your tween fantasy one, no, this is a hard movie where the worst class at school gets sent to an island and only one survivor could be left at the end. Weapons get dropped off, no favours are given here, people are destroyed. It is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, you really should check this one out. It's not for everybody, it is subtitled as well, but you know what, it is really enjoyable. Number 5 on my list is a movie that I really enjoyed, but it's something that a lot of people will know. I love the book and I really like the movie, and it is John Dies at the End. You know, I don't want to give any spoilers away, so I won't tell you what happens at the end, but this is a crazy tale about a drug that they take, and once they take the drug, they pretty much aware of everything that is happening. They know everything that's going to happen, and it's just really weird. The drug's called soy sauce. Paul Giamatti's in it as well, and it's just a really weird, wacky movie. Now, Don Coscarelli did this, the same guy did Bubba Hotep, which I did a Blu-ray review, which will be linked down below, so check that one out. That's another weird and wacky movie, but this John Dies at the End is fantastic. Give it a go. And at number 4 is, it's a movie for people with attention deficit disorder. This movie, Detention, is such a strange movie. There's nothing else like it. It involves time travel. It's kind of like a mix between The Breakfast Club, Scream. It's just such a strange movie. I'm going to try and describe it as best I can, and basically what it is nope, That's as far as I can get. It's indescribable. The director actually put a lot of his own money in to make this movie. It's actually a passion project, and you'll know within 5 minutes if you're going to like it or not. Personally, for me, I loved it. I've watched it a couple of times, and it just keeps getting better. Number 3 is one of Walter Hill's best movies, and that is The Warriors. The Warriors came out in the late 70s, and it's basically about a small gang from Coney Island who travel into New York, where all the gangs are meeting, being led by this one man, Cyrus, who's going to tell them all what to do. And when Cyrus is murdered, the murder is pinned on the Warriors. Now, they're completely innocent, but all the gangs in New York are then after them. They have a bounty on their head, and all they want to do is get from the centre of New York back home. But that is not going to be an easy journey. It's full of great performances and great images that you haven't seen before, and some of the gangs are just wacky and colourful, and it's a really, really enjoyable movie. Number 2 on my list is the original Fright Night. Not the remake starring Colin Farrell, which was still good, but this is the one starring Roddy McDowall that came out in the 80s. This is a great movie that still stands the test of time. It's basically about a young boy, and a neighbour moves in next door, and he is certain that this guy is a vampire. And the only thing he can do to stop him is contact a vampire hunter that he's seen on TV. It's a simple plot, and it's a really enjoyable film. It's fun, it's wacky, it's got some good special effects, and if you haven't seen this, why not? It's on Netflix, stick it on. Okay, straight in number 1 on my list, and this is the one movie that you should watch. When you're flicking through Netflix and you see the posters or the cover art or images for a movie, you know, you can tend to get swept away in them, and some of them look really good and some of them look really poor, but that shouldn't be an indication of the actual movie. Harold and Maude, it's a movie from the 70s. It was made by Hal Ashby, and it is an absolutely fantastic movie. It came out in 1971. It's basically about a young man who is consumed by the idea of death, and all the way through the movies he's creating these elaborate suicides. They're never real, but they're elaborately staged devices, and he visits funeral parlours as a hobby, and he bumps into Maude, who also does the same thing. And so even though Maude is a sort of elderly lady and he's a young man, they form this bond and a relationship of mutual respect, enjoyable, and love. May not sound great, but you know what, it is a fantastic, really enjoyable movie with a fantastic soundtrack, with a song that repeats through it that, you know, whenever I watch the movie I can't get the song out of my head for days. You know what, just check out Harold and Maude. I promise you will not be sorry. It is a great movie. So that's it for this month in March. That is 10 movies to keep you going, and you know what, I will check back in with you in April with another 10 movies that you should watch. But up until then, if you have a movie that you think I should check out, drop it in the comments below and I will let you know if I like it or not.